A very good afternoon. I am Dr. Meenakshi Dhingra, the editor of PIET's annual magazine, Milieu. Today we are privileged to welcome our esteemed guest to this discussion, Mr. Rakesh Tayal, who is the Vice Chairman of Panipat Institute of Engineering and Technology. With a wealth of experience in the field of education and dedicated focus towards higher education, Mr. Rakesh Tayal has demonstrated excellent leadership and guidance skills, which has contributed significantly towards the advancement of higher education and the growth of the institution. So before we delve deeper into today's discussion, let us extend a very warm welcome to Mr. Rakesh Tayal. We welcome you, sir.
Thank you.
So first of all, I would like to congratulate you for so many accomplishments in the year 2024, be it getting autonomy or getting selected as the institution of eminence by CBSE or forming collaboration with United Nations under its UN AI program. Very congratulations, sir.
Thank you.
So PIET has been the only institution which has got autonomy. It is a very big and very significant milestone for any institution. So what does autonomy means to this institution?
See, we are 18 years old now, and whenever we, thought of like how to proceed further, so, the only thing which comes to our mind was like to get autonomy. So there are different routes like how, institution can progress. One is like, going to a greenfield establishment of a university or become autonomous, because the new education policy also says like, only the institutions, either the university is going to survive or the institutions which becomes autonomous, they're going to survive. So the institutions which are affiliated ones, they have no future, in that particular policy. So the thing is like, when you grow as an institution, you know how to conduct the examinations,
right,
how to, frame and design the curriculum. So that is the major aspect, So, and for quality education, autonomy gives you all this kind of freedom, that is academic freedom. And nowadays, when we talk about, a proper evaluation of the students, this also becomes very tricky in that particular sense. Because when we say about new education policy or education 4.0, so the best thing, or the biggest challenge is, how you're gonna evaluate, the learning of the students. So, and everyone says that rote learning is no longer a future for children or for the students. So then, but how you gonna evaluate it? Right. So, given that kind of an autonomy, so we will, in step by step, in a very progressive manner, we will, do a lot of change in evaluation system. So that is what autonomy means to us.
Okay.
Because which no one else is doing, we want to focus on that.
On that part.
Right. So because if you have to prepare students for the future, for the next century, because we are in Industrial Revolution 4.0. So where the jobs which are at this point of time, existing, is not going to exist in 10 years times or 5 years times down the line.
Absolutely.
So you need to, prepare the future, manpower in that particular fashion, where the learning is more sustainable, it is more practical, it is more about applying whatever you have learned in your, job sphere or whatever ecosystem it is. So that is what autonomy means. Autonomy is not about like, getting in some kind of an, approval from any of the authorities.
Absolutely.
And you start doing the way you want it to do, but you must have certain kind of vision in. So how you gonna run it? So there are two major things like adopting the curriculum as per the industry need, and to be more flexible about it. So as the child progress, so you can design the curriculum for the children in that particular aspect, rather than making it more rigid and stagnant. So it will be ever evolving kind of an,
Right.
what do you say, your academic curriculum and evaluation in that particular regard. So there are two major things. One is curriculum designing and the second is evaluation.
All right. So, sir, since you are telling us about these two major changes, so what are some immediate, or if I say some long-term changes which students and faculties of your institution can expect post this transition of autonomy is completed?
See, the major problems which the student face is related to evaluation I was talking about. So it is related to when they appear in examination, the result is not declared.
Right.
It always takes a lot of time. So, and that too, it's very what do you say, a very old concept of examination. Where we just evaluate their what do you say, memorizing skill.
Right.
So nothing has been done related to how a practical orientation of a student can be evaluated. So this is the biggest change, I guess, which the students will appreciate, and the effective learning will start from this particular session, that the students will not come to the classes just to appear in the examination or just to pass their semester examinations, right? They will come to classes for effective learning and lifelong learning. So why and how these particular course and the curriculum is going to help and shape their lives, that is going to be the objective of now students coming and turning up to the classes. When we say, okay, fine, the learning takes outside the class more than the class, because that is because there is informal learning and a formal learning. When you make every kind of a learning as an informal learning in that particular aspect, that it is for your life, it is not for any examination, right? So why we make it very formal touch? You should make it more informal in that particular regard, that we become an agrarian sport kind of and stuff. We give it to everyone. So now it depends upon individual children how they gonna shape their careers. So that matters. So there is no one standard things on how we're gonna evaluate the students. There is no one standard how we're gonna say, okay, fine, this student is brilliant and this student is not brilliant. So you have to characterize their skill sets into different aspects. So first of all, you have to do the profile mapping of each individual, where they want to go, and what they want to become, and then set the pace. So that is how we're gonna shape, the future things and from this particular session. So, but it will happen in steps, because it should not come as a shock.
Right.
So, and the student should be well prepared, a proper, what do you say?
Should be able to.
The proper announcement should be made, the proper communication related to what is all expected from the students, what is all expected from the teacher side, because you have to build all that ecosystem, which coexist. No one is changing anyone, so everything should be very smooth kind of in transition. So that is what we are expecting.
Right. Okay. Sir, since you have just discussed about that there will be some kind of customized curriculum, and the teachers will also be made aware of that how they are going to teach now. The teaching patterns will be different as compared to previous one. So maintaining quality of education will be a very important aspect that institution has to adhere to. So what are the plans of institution, how they are going to uphold this quality of education, so that whatever has been going through and whatever the steps that the institution is already taking for the upliftment of the higher education. So how this institution is maintained?
First we have to define what quality is, and how we see, quality education. The quality education is not about obtaining degrees. Quality education is not about clearing a particular exam. Quality education is how well, that particular learning which you have gathered, or, so that can be put to use for the welfare of the society, for the welfare of the economy, or and for welfare of the mankind, so that is what is required. So, but In the contrary, what is happening is, the quality of education is being evaluated in all other, parameters, which is not correct. Right. So it is about now, the thing is, the journey for this generation is going to be very different.
Yes.
Because no one has traveled that particular path. Now they have to travel it.
It's a new path for them.
Yes. So it is a new path because now we are into a different phase where AI intervention is there.
Yes.
So now these students, they need to compete with AI, the machine which is equipped with AI, right?
Exactly.
And how they're going to do it? So you need to empower them, you need to strengthen them, you need to, hone their skills in that particular, areas where they have that confidence, where they have that, the practical knowledge and the critical thinking and creative skills to take that forward. So, for the evaluation purpose, like the classes, the people say, okay, fine, you cannot take the books to the examination center. We say, why not? Take the books to the examination center. If you know how to, but the questions will not be direct, like you have memorized and you have the books in. If you don't understand the concept, you won't be able to write anything.
Yes, definitely.
Right. So it is because every answer could be right. It is your perspective, how you look at a problem,
Right.
how you have gone through that particular journey, that matters, right? If a problem is being popped to you, how you respond to it, that matters. Right. So that is the response and that journey that will be reflected in his evaluation. Right. So if we will able to do it, because this is what we think education is, or quality education is, and if we will be able to do it the way we look at it, then it will be a complete transformation in education system. Because earlier we didn't have that liberty to do it, but now we have got this liberty. So we will like to exercise, all these experiments and do some kind of a revolution in education, so that we will not make redundant manpower. Because if India has that demographic dividend in its favor, then it should be properly harnessed.
Yes.
It should be properly utilized and optimally utilized.
Absolutely.
So then, if we look for Viksit Bharat, it is very much possible.
Absolutely. Right. So, sir, since media and everywhere we can see in the newspapers also, it's mentioned that PIET is the only institution which has got autonomous status in the state of Haryana.
Yeah.
So this journey would be very difficult. It would have been very difficult, because becoming the only institution, that means it's something very significant. So what all challenges the institution faced, and how the institution were able to handle those obstacles?
See, like, to get an autonomy, you need to be, accredited by a lot of different agencies. First is like you need to be accredited by National Board of Accreditation, right? So at least 3 courses you need to be accredited by NBA. Then you need to be like autonomous by, accredited by NAC. So these are the 2 requirements, essential requirements to get an autonomy. Then the other important thing which you require is that kind of in faith. Okay, fine, you will be able to steer, in the right direction. You will be able to steer the institution in the right direction. So the other option was like always open. That was to establish a greenfield university. But to get in a greenfield university, that doesn't require any kind of an eligibility in terms of quality aspects. So that is the reason we wanted, the institution to be converted into an autonomous instead of into a university for, at this point of time, so we can say. Because once you get that kind of an assurance and system that, okay, fine, the university is always there to support us in that particular aspect, because getting staying with the university stuff, and the students always get that kind of an, importance, like international recognition of a degree. And if it is coupled with, the academic, knowledge which the students gonna gain, so it is gonna help the students in both the ways. because now the students have that tendency of going abroad also,
Right.
and looking for the jobs in international market. So if you have an autonomous status attached, and the degree says, okay, fine, you got a degree from an autonomous institution, which is an NBA accredited, right? So then the degree is, valid all over the world.
It is.
So, and it is a a major thing in the job market if we look at. So that is there. So now the tough part has already been done in that particular aspect. Now it's the new assignment which is now open, and it is very, it is even tougher than the previous one, because now you have to prove yourself, because the way you have you want to design it, so you have to make it sure that everything happens exactly the same way, because it is very difficult to control human mind. So because you have to take care of so many students, so many faculty members, so they have their own way of doing things. So, and the people will always have resistance to change. So now it's a challenge. So, but we think if it is done with the right intention and right perspective, the things will flourish and they will fall in place.
Right, sir. So, sir, about autonomy, I think we discussed a lot. So, now I would like to discuss with you that entrepreneurship and research, these are buzzwords nowadays.
Yes.
Everybody is talking about it. Even Government of India is running so many programs under the name of Startup India program and Research and Development program. So what this institution, what exciting things are being done in this institution to support and spark those entrepreneurial skills and to uphold the research activities in the institution?
As I already said, that the job market is going to change.
Right.
So there are many opportunities which are going to come, in this era, So the things which no one has thought about, the new ideas. So for that, there is no company which is in existence. So now, these young kids, they have to think, okay, fine, these things no one else is doing. There is a gap, and we can fill it. So there's the opportunity. There's the requirement of a startup. There is a requirement of a new idea. So, and for that particular reason, we have a very good startup center, incubation center in place. In fact, we want every classroom to be converted into a startup incubation center, because now the education 4.0 requires education to be given in that particular aspect. So where ideas can be nourished in that particular way, because when we have that collaborative learning or personalized learning in that particular aspect, we don't snub inquisitive questioning of the students.
Right.
So you don't snub them. So when we say you invite, okay, fine, so if there is a question, please come, we will discuss about it, because there is no set curriculum is going to be there. So the students will maneuver in the way, like in which field they find it more interest.
Right.
So in that way, that will education will not be a burden. Right. And then the students start finding solutions to problems, then how entrepreneurship takes place. This is how a new startups take place. When they will start solving the problems which they face in their daily life, because they don't have to get the problem from outside. The problems are everywhere.
Exactly.
So
True.
and no one else is gonna solve their problems. If they get that kind of an confidence, okay, fine, they can solve their problems. And if there is an idea lab there is a startup incubation there, so if every kind of an prototype which they think they can be designed in your campus, so then converting your ideas into reality is not a distant future, right? It is very much there. So, and we keep on organizing hackathons and other aspects, the Spardha events. So all these things make students get ready for the future, get ready to get that kind of confidence, okay, fine, we are better than the other ones, and we have seen the ideas of other students also participating in these kind of events, give them a lot of confidence in that particular regard. So, and this journey started in 2018 when we first participated in Smart India Hackathon. And now, we reached like where we made the record in India, where we were in the top ranking institution, where the maximum number of teams qualified for the grand finale. There was 12 teams, and we won 3 first prizes in that particular event in 2020.
Great, sir.
So it's still a record. So this is an attainment which we can always quote when we say, okay, fine, we believe in startups, we believe in empowering students to become an entrepreneur.
Great, sir.
And recently we called Ashnil Grover, for matter of fact, the students gets a face-to-face interaction with the people who have transformed this startup industry. So and he also has a Panipat connection, so it helps that the people the person from their soil can reach up to that level. They can also
so it's very encouraging for the students.
Yeah, Haryana is the soil of surprises and talent, you can say. So if you talk about in sports field, you talk about in all these things. So
absolutely,
Haryana is contributing a lot. So in education also, you will see many things coming from Haryana in times to come.
Right, sir. Right. So industry partnerships and global collaborations, these can be so enriching for the students who are in this phase of their life.
Yeah.
So what this institution, PIET, is doing in terms of its global collaborations and industry tie-ups so that they become work ready, they're ready to hit the world of work?
Yeah. So earlier, like being affiliated only, like with the university, we didn't have that liberty of, having some kind of an twinning programs with foreign universities. Earlier, we were, we had tie-up with around 26, 27 universities around the globe, where the students were given a chance to do and go for internship, summer internship, or for some kind of a project work or something like that. But now, becoming an autonomous institution, we have all that liberty. We can have some kind of an association with these universities that we've already partnered with, and some more universities in that regard. So then we can have some kind of an MOUs with these universities, wherein the students for 1 semester or 2 semesters, or even like for 3 or 4 semesters, they can study here, and the partially they can study in a foreign university. So that is one part, like when we talk about foreign collaborations. And the other part is related to research. Definitely, when you have a tie-up and association with a particular university, you collaborate them in regards of research papers, like where the faculty from our institution and their university or institutions, they collaborate and do some kind of research work together, and and do lot many different things which is good for the society and good for the mankind.
So since 2006 to 2024, it's been 18 years, a very long journey and a very happening one. So what next for PIET?
See, this is what you say, like when a small baby becomes adult, so now we are in that particular phase where you can take your own decisions now, right? So this is one thing. So now the journey has begun.
Right, the real journey.
Yes, the real journey. And earlier we were just we were handholded by a university, and we were told to do this and that. So, and there are a lot many accomplishments along that way, but now the real test is going to be there. So, because there is some, the previous history of some institutions becoming an autonomous and not doing that well, but maybe their looking at the things was different, their perception was different, their vision was different, but we are very much clear about what to do, how to do it, and where we want to take this institution, right? So, and it is all student-centric. right? It is all faculty centric, and when it is focused on these two elements, then the two important things, so then no one is going to stop you in that particular regard. So if you think in that particular way, okay, fine. What you're going to teach in this particular institution is going to be world class. It's going to be relevant thing which will be welcomed by the industry, welcomed by the society, and welcomed by the everyone, in that particular regard. And the students don't take education as a burden. They don't take education as in kind of like which they've been forced to do or study. When they start enjoying it, when they will start experiencing what they've been taught in the class, it is very useful in their day-to-day life, right? And they can apply that particular knowledge in solving their problems. Then the people will start appreciating what knowledge or education is all about. Now it is, education is just about a degree. It is not about learning. It is not about solving the issues. It is not about the social evil which is there in the society. The onus is on the education institutions how you can take these social evils out of the society. So that is very important. So that you can do it not only by developing the IQ, you have to focus on their emotional quotient also. You have to focus on the social quotient, and now, which is very important, that is spiritual quotient. The students should know why they exist.
True.
To know themselves. That is very important. And for that, meditation is very important. And for that, a lot many different things are there. So it's going to be a test, and we are ready for this test.
Thank you so much, sir, for sharing these insights with all of us. It's so enriching discussing all these important aspects related to higher education with you. And we wish you all the very best for the coming year, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you.